Hi, this is Craig at Quality Water Treatment. You can see us at www.qualitywatertreatment.com. Today I'm going to show you how to get your 5600 SXT Fleck water softener ready for installation. The first thing you're going to do is make sure the blue plug is inside the distributor tube. If you don't have a blue plug, then you either use tape or use a PVC cap and temporarily plug the tube so resin cannot get down inside the tube while you're adding the resin to the tank. If your system came with gravel, then add the gravel first to the tank. If it did not come with gravel, that means you do not need the gravel. We generally don't use gravel unless it's absolutely required. So the first thing you're going to do is, after you plug your tube, is you're going to use the media funnel, put it over the tank. So you're going to go ahead and add your resin. Now this resin here is just a demonstration bag to show you how to do this, but normally it comes in large bags. Sometimes it'll come more than one bag, depending on the size of the system. If you have more than one bag, you might notice that the color might be different from one bag to the next. That doesn't mean much of anything. All you do is go ahead and add both bags. Doesn't matter which one goes first. So you're going to add the resin to the tank. As you're adding resin to the tank, you're going to push it down with your hand or use water to weigh down the resin so it goes down into the tank. Once you're done adding resin to the tank, you're going to notice that your tank's going to be about 50%, maybe a little bit more full. That is normal. So after you're done doing that, you remove your funnel, remove your cap, and use some water to clean the resin off the threads, if there is any on there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our 5600 SXT valve. Now a lot of times the bypass valve, if you ordered it with the system, it'll already be on the bypass. If not, then it will be in a separate bag. And what you would do is you would loosen these two screws on both sides, pull the clamps away, push the bypass into the meter assembly, put the clamps back on, and hand tighten these back down. Only use the screwdriver to do that. Do not use an electronic wrench to do that, because you might crack the housing because you have too much pressure on it. Okay, at that point, what you're going to do is you're going to unplug your meter cable from the back of the system. You're going to pull your drain line out, drain line adapter, and I've already done this, but you're going to put Teflon tape on here. Don't use Teflon paste, only use tape on these. Go ahead and screw it back in. Hand tighten it down. And use a pair of channel locks or a small wrench to snug it up. Don't have to really tighten it very tight. Just snug it up a little bit. At that point, you're going to plug your meter cable back in. Just like that. Now you're ready to put your valve on your tank. The center hole of the valve here slides right into the top of the distributor tube. So you're going to lower it down, get it on top of the distributor tube, and hand tighten the valve onto the tank. Just snug it up, okay, and you're ready to go. I'm going to leave this sideways so you guys can see it. At that point, you're going to put your adapters into your bypass valve. Now, what I have here are two PVC 3/4 inch male adapters. If you chose the 1-inch bypass instead of the 3/4 inch, you would use 1 inch. You could use copper male adapters. You could use brass or galvanized nipples if you're bringing Flecks up into the system, or you could use PEX. So the first thing you do is, some people use Teflon tape. I like to use Teflon paste because the threads are coarse on the bypass valves. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and take this and you're going to coat the threads all the way through. You take your male adapters, and screw them into your bypass valve. And tighten them down the best that you can. And take your wrench and tighten them down. Get them tight, nice and snug. At that point, turn your system around. Make sure it's nice and level. You're going to run your drain line to the designated area, a 1/2-inch drain line. Use a hose clamp to clamp it on to hold it in place. Run the drain line to the designated area, whatever's code for your area, and plumb your system in and out. Now that you're done doing that, you're going to hook up your brine tank. We'll go ahead and plug this in here. So, with the brine tank, remove the lid. Inside the brine well, you're going to see a nut. You're going to remove this nut. Inside this nut, you're going to see a white ferrule, and behind it is a black ferrule. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your brine tubing that comes with the system, stick it through the hole. Make sure the brass insert is in here. Go ahead and slip your nut over. Sometimes you'll have to push the white ferrule back in. Bring your tube down. Stick it back into the 90-degree elbow where the nut was. And screw the nut back on. And tighten it down. Okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and tighten the nut back onto the 90-degree elbow. Get it just nice and snug. Okay? So, now that is done, put your brine well cap back on. Now we're going to hook up your brine line to the side of your 5600 SXT control valve. Your system came with a service manual. Inside the service manual is a separate bag. Has some fittings in it. It's your installation pack. Inside your installation pack, you're going to have a brass sleeve. A lot of times the tube already has a sleeve in it. If it does, you don't need this, you just set it aside. Next is it has a screen. We don't recommend using the screen because they plug too easily, so we're not going to use the screen. So, at this point, leaves you with a brass nut, which you're going to slide over first. Leaves you with a white ferrule. The white ferrule has a flat edge, and it has a beveled edge. The flat edge slides over the tube first with the beveled edge facing outward. I'm going to bring this around. Turn this so you guys can see it. Stick it into your brine injector port. And tighten the brass nut on. then use a small wrench to snug it up. Okay, so once you're done doing that, your system's installed and ready to go. You can add 5 gallons of water to the brine tank, either through a hose or a bucket. You're going to add 3 40 to 50 pound bags of salt. You could use extra coarse salt. You could use the salt blocks, what they call solar salt, or you could use potassium chloride. Once you're done doing that, add the lid to the tank. Program your system, which Heather will show you how to do later on a separate installation guide. Turn the water on into the unit. Open the bypass up slowly and let the tank fill with water. Once the tank is full with water, go to the nearest faucet to the system, cold water faucet. That's treated. Turn it on really slow to bleed the air off. Let the water run until the water runs clear into a glass. If you're ready to go ahead and use your system. Thank you for visiting Quality Water Treatment, and thank you for your business, and have a great day.